YouTube channel. Today I wanted to get on and talk about my career progression in public health um, because I know there are a lot of people, especially minorities, that look at public health and automatically think like working for nonprofits and doing this type of things, and it not being a very lucrative career, and that doesn't have to be the case. So I just want to give like more insight on my journey, what I did, trials I went through, disappointments, setbacks, all of that. And if I am looking down, it's because I have notes on my phone, because girl, I went through a lot. Okay, so let's get into it. So in 2010, I graduated high school, and upon graduating high school, I did have my CNA, Certified Nursing Assistant certification. So honestly, I did work PRN like as needed. For those of you that don't know what that means, I did work as needed at a nursing home as I went throughout my college career from 2010 through 2014. And the way I did that, I would just call them the place I worked at and let them know, hey, I'll be home this weekend. Can you put me on the schedule? Stuff like that. Just something to keep money in my pocket, and also something to keep so that I can keep gaining experience. Because initially, my my major was nursing, but I switched from nursing, and I'm still glad I did. I didn't see myself being a nurse. I think I just went into nursing because I knew that was what was expected of me. My aunt was a nurse, and she was like, "Oh, you got to be such a great nurse and all this." So yeah, I didn't do that. So I did go to Columbus State University, and while I was at CSU, I participated in different leadership roles within health science organizations. I volunteered at different health fairs. I presented at health fairs. Like, I really used that time to capitalize, get as much experience as I needed, and to really show employers that, I had, because while I was a CNA, I still wasn't necessarily doing what I wanted to do once I graduated. So I was doing direct patient care and all of that, but I wasn't doing anything administrative per se. And that was really my end goal, was to get into health administration and policies. So of course I graduated in 2014, and after graduation I took a year off. I majored in health science, so that's what my undergraduate degree is in. I have a bachelor's degree in health science, and in 2014, after I graduated, I started working at a local hospital in Columbus until I figured out what it was that I really wanted to do. Because if you know anyone that has a health science degree, that's just really a general degree. You can go in so many different avenues with that degree. You can be you can decide to go to medical school. You can go to dentistry. You can be an optometrist. You could go into public health, maternal health. It's a lot of things that you can do with that degree. So I really took a year off from school, but I still worked in the hospital as a nurse tech. I still continually worked until I figured out what it was that I really wanted to do. And I want to say I started thinking about public health from one of the counselors at the school, as well as one of my old roommates, Kimmy. I want to say that's how I got really started looking into public health. Shout out to Sakimi. That was my dog right there. So yeah, after that, I enrolled back in school in 2015. Like I said, I took that year off. I enrolled back in school in 2015 to get my MPH. And the thing is, I knew I wanted to be behind the scenes. I did not want to do patient care. That's why I did not go to get like a degree in medicine or anything like that, because I didn't want to be hands-on with patients. No, I can do paperwork, policy stuff all day. That is what I love. That is what I love. That's what I like to do. So I went back to school. enrolled to get my MPH. I went to the University of New England, and mind you, I also worked the entire time not the entire time, I'll get to that story in a minute. I worked pretty much full time up until I was going to do my internship. Honestly, working at that hospital really drained me because, of course, I was doing direct patient care. That was something I did not love to do. I started to get just depressed. I was sad all the time. I would tell my mom, I used to hate getting up work. And if you work in a hospital, you know you only have to work three days a week. And I work night shift, 7P to 7A. And I would always schedule my days back to back. And I'm thankful that I had a supervisor that would let me do that, because most times they would kind of spread you out. But he knew I was back in school, and so I tried to knock all of my work days out of the way with at the beginning of the week, so I had the rest of the time to focus on my schoolwork, studies, all of that. But yeah, I was in a very dark place during that time. I was sad because I just hated it. I hated what I did, but I didn't want to quit because I'm the type of person, I'm a go-getter, so I'm gonna always have me some money coming in some kind of way. And I just, and that job was convenient because of the work schedule, the flexibility I had, so it was very convenient for me to stay there and just thug it out until, I was almost done with school, rather than quitting and getting another job with that was more demanding. It would not allow me the time to, focus on my studies, because when I tell you, I think the first semester for graduate school, they require you to do like the minimum amount of hours just to see how you do, make sure you're comfortable with everything. Girl, after that first semester, I literally did the max amount. I took the max amount of credit hours I could take from then on, because I could not continue to stay where I was. I was like, I need to hurry up and finish and get this degree. I worked my butt off, and I finished early too. Like, I was playing no games whatsoever. I finished that. That program, like that, and it was just really the determination that I had to get me through it. I knew I could not stay stuck at that hospital for too much longer, because, girl, and I didn't even realize how badly depressed and sad I was until I really think about it. And I used to talk to my mom and all of that. She was like, Erica, don't say that. Don't listen. I know you might not want me to say that I'm depressed and I'm sad and all this other type of stuff, because, who wants to know that their child is depressed because of the job? But I was. I was like, I'm sick of this. I'm ready to go. So, girl, I did what I had to do to shut the deuces up. So, during my last semester of classes, I knew for a fact that I was going to quit after that. So anybody that went and got their master's, you know that at the end you do some type of internship or something like that to gain, experience. So we were only really required to do 120 hours, which was approximately like 3 weeks of work. But I knew that, number one, I did not have the experience in public health that I really, really needed. Aside from schoolwork, of course, I did not have experience. The only thing I really had experience is direct patient care, nurse tech, CNA type work. And I knew that I had to do something. I knew once I landed an internship, I had to maximize my time and get everything I could out of that time frame that they allowed me to be there. So I started saving my money strategically so I could, pay, keep myself afloat, pay for gas, all that different type of stuff. And when I tell you, I quit that job. I put in my 2 weeks notice, even though I technically could have, like I said, it was only 3 weeks that I had to do. I technically could have continued to work, but I didn't want to. I wanted to get my experience that I needed in public health. I quit. I found me an internship with the state, the Georgia Department of Public Health, and I dedicated 4 months 4 months working for free for them, and I only really had to do 3 weeks. And I did that because I knew in 3 weeks that was really no time to get the experience that I needed to land a good job that I really would appreciate and things like that. So I was just like, you know what, bump it, we're finna go all in. I went and I worked my butt off those entire 4 months. Like any seminars or workshops that my preceptor had to go to, I went. It didn't matter. She said, and she usually say, we usually have funding where we can pay our interns, blah, blah, blah. But she was like, we lost funding. We don't have any money. I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's all well and good because I already knew God was going to make a way. And literally everything, like I said, everything that she did, her team did, they involved me in it. They let me lead projects. They let me lead workshops. They really let me get the necessary experience I needed so that I could have a solid resume, solid credentials, solid work experience in the field, actually doing the work, so that, you know, I was more marketable and could be a great candidate for a job. And I thank Ms. Deborah so much for that, because she did not have to do that for me. Actually, as a matter of fact, networking with her, going to different seminars in Atlanta and stuff like that, it landed me an interview before I even graduated. Because I graduated in May, I had an interview it was like February, March, and the interview was with someone that I met with her when I was networking with her, going to different workshops. Although I did not get that job, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I probably wasn't ready to go that deep off it. Yeah, nah. Even though I did not get that job, though, it gave me the experience, the interviewing experience I needed for public health. Like, I had to interview in front of a panel, and I had to do a presentation, all that other type of stuff. So it provided me the experience that I needed, and I felt more prepared for interviews that was coming in the future after I had that one. And the person that I met that, you know, allowed me to get the interview that I met through Ms. Deborah, he gave me feedback on what I needed to do to prepare for next interviews, all that good stuff. So I really had a great, strong team and a great, strong circle that really wanted to see me succeed, and I was thrilled about that. So after I graduated in 2017, I did get a job at a nonprofit organization. I started out as the program coordinator, and you know, it was my first real job in public health outside of doing my internship. So I was excited, I was geeked, I was like, finally somebody gave me an opportunity to show myself, to prove myself that I could really do this. And it was not long after I graduated. I think I was out of work I graduated maybe a month, because I started working the beginning of July. So during that time, I did plenty of applications, finally got me an interview, landed it, and started working. So I worked in that particular position for about 2 years, and then after that, I interviewed and got a position as the program manager at that organization, and it allowed me to really step into a leadership role, management, really do what I like, and see exactly if that was the direction that I wanted to continue to go in public health. What I will say is that while I was working at the nonprofit, I continued to attend different conferences. I continue to network. I'm not sure if you guys know about, for those of you that are in public health, know of Hope King and Black Ladies in Public Health. She's on LinkedIn. I networked with her. She helped me revamp my resume. She hosted different workshops and stuff. I invested in myself and attended the workshops. My job offered Fred Pryor learning courses for free. So any courses that I saw that aligned with me progressing in my career and reaching my goals, I enrolled in them, took them. I mean, why not? They're free. They're free. And I think the normal price for those courses is like $100 or something. I'm not sure, but they allowed us to take those courses for free. So why not? If you know that you don't want to, you want to continue to grow, why not find courses that aligns with what you want to do? Go ahead and take them, get those certifications, girl, and go be on your way. Get as much, all the benefits that your job offers. Take advantage of them while you can. Really do, because it saves you money and it helps you in the long run. Training interns while I was the program coordinator as well. And what really had me kind of defeated and really opened up my eyes to the way this world is set up, even though you already know it, but until you experience for yourself, you really just don't even think about it, was that if you know me, you know that I have been trying. I've always wanted to work for the CDC. That was like my goal since I learned about CDC back in undergraduate, like 2013, 2014. So of course, after I had got my master's degree, got a year and a half, almost 2 years experience in public health, gotten all these certifications, different things like that, I started applying there, and I would never, ever, ever get to the interview process. And then one of my interns, a Caucasian girl, she was doing her internship, and she had her bachelor's degree, no work experience in public health, and before she was on her internship, she had a job at the CDC. Girl, and I wasn't mad at her or anything. I was very happy for her, but I was looking like, what in the world am I doing wrong? I have a bachelor's degree, I have a master's degree, I have these certifications, I have this real world experience, I have volunteer opportunity that I did. I've done literally, I've hit almost every box there is to hit, from healthcare, working in direct patient care, and on the management and administrative side. How is it that someone with just a bachelor's degree, absolutely no experience whatsoever in public health, besides her internship that she did with me, how is it that she got hired on so easily? How? To this day, still don't know. But you know what? I had to really take a step back, look at myself, because that really kind of knocked me down a little, because I felt defeated. Because I knew I did not want to stay in nonprofit. While it is great to start out with, because you get so much experience, because anybody knows nonprofit, pay is not all that great, and most times you're always short-staffed, so you learn a lot of different roles. Almost everything that's done in that organization you work for, you about to know the roles, so you learn, you get a lot of experience. And I felt so defeated. I felt like maybe it's just not meant for me to go to the federal sector. Maybe I just need to start looking at other options, looking at other nonprofits that more aligns with what I'm trying to do, looking at maybe even starting my own business and doing something in public health for myself. I don't know what it was that I needed to do, but I just had to take a step back, talk to God, do some self-reflection, and after about a week or so of it, I had to come to the realization that everything's happened for a reason, and everything happens within God's perfect timing. To stop comparing myself to others that were advancing to where I wanted to go, and sit in that moment where I was, take it all in, make the best of it, and keep going. I had to keep going, so I had to get up, push my shoulders off, whatever. And so I said, you know what? Maybe it's just not my time for that, so I'm just about to see what else I can do. So that's when I ended up applying for the management position in the same organization. Ended up getting it, and I did that for like a year and 8 months, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. I did that for like a year and 8 months. But if you're a manager at a nonprofit, you already know, overworked, underpaid, a lot, stressful. Like, it was a lot. I'm very thankful for the experience, but it really took a toll on me. I came home every day just drained, so drained from being the go-to person for everyone. I always have to handle things, not having limited support, limited resources. It was just a lot. And honestly, I'm thankful for the experience because it really made me appreciate where I am now. And it also taught me how to just to continue to work, put your best foot forward, make the best out of every situation. Because even though I used to dread going to work sometimes, it's always put a smile on my face, be positive for the team, trying my best to get out positive energy to them so that, you know, they can feed off my energy so that we all can have a good day. Because you already know, having a team on you of like 14, 15 people, everybody ain't gonna have a good attitude that day. And it's like a trickle down effect. Once one person got attitude, the other, and it's just, I try my best every morning to set the pace for how our day should go. And some days it worked, some days it was just a flop, but oh well, it is what it is. So that's how I ended up there. So if I go back a little to 2014, my sister worked at a federal detention center with ICE, and it was a guy there that he's a PHS officer, and she told him about me going back into public health and getting my master's in public health, and he contacted me. That was in 2014. So he told me, he was like, he told me kind of about PHS, how everything's set up, different categories, all that type of stuff that I could potentially be a fit for. And honestly, I didn't necessarily want to be a public health service officer, but I wasn't completely closed to the option either. I was still open. So this was in 2014. So he would check up on me like once or twice every year just to see how I'm going, because he gave me tips on how to, you know, strengthen my resume so that once they open those applications back up for health service officers, I could be prepared, ready, and a great candidate. So of course, now it's 2019. That was in 2014 when I first spoke with him. Now it's 2019. Like I said, we kept in contact on and off. He would send me different jobs and stuff that he thought I would be good for. I would apply, still nothing. 2019, he called me. Erica Bussey, that's how he called my name. Erica Bussey, the applications are open. I'm gonna need you to have it in within the next 2 weeks. I said, what application? So he was like, they are finally opening application back up to people with MPH. He said, I want you to go ahead and apply. He said, the opportunity is there. He was like, with COVID and everything coming into play, he was like, the opportunity is there. So I was like, okay, cool. Did my application December 2019, submitted it, and then of course COVID hit like February, March or whatever. And I didn't hear back from them until maybe March or April. But needless to say, here I am now. I got into PHS as a health service officer with my MPH. I work, the agency I work for now, beyond the CDC, is honestly, I never even would have expected myself to be here, and I'm honestly so glad I did. I'm so, because now I hear people that work for the CDC versus the agency I work for, and the pros and cons are like, yeah, the agency you work for, that's where everyone always tries to go. That's like the goal. And being that you came in at that agency, it was like, that's like almost unheard of. It's like phenomenal. And I just sat back and I thought, you know what? Everything that I went through, all the no's, all the rejections, all of the disappointments, me seeing other people elevate, and all of that was for me to sit. It was for me to be patient, and it was for me to trust God and trust God's timing. Because honestly, I am the happiest that I've ever been at any job. My job is flexible. I work from home 100%. I get to travel. Everything paid for. Like, I could not have asked for something better. It is so beneficial for me and my husband. The benefits that I get from it, oh my God. Like, I just sit back and I'm in awe sometimes of how God just worked everything out for me when I thought, well, you know, maybe going into a federal position just isn't for me. That isn't the plan God has for me. And I was like, nah, that's the plan I have for you. But what I really have for you is gonna be beyond your expectations. No, we're gonna bypass the CDC. We're gonna go up a little further. And I'm just thankful for it. And for any of you that are in public health thinking that you always, you know, you're stuck at dead end jobs having to do some community work or things that doesn't pay as much, if that isn't what your true passion is. I know some people are fine with doing being health educators, being in the community and stuff like that, because that's their passion, and that is fine, that is okay. That just wasn't me. That wasn't me, and that wasn't the plan that I wanted for myself. That isn't what God put in me. So what I know is, if you just sit back, you trust God, trust the process, you're gonna be exactly where you need to be when you need to be there. Okay? Don't stress it. Stop contemplating about it. Stop thinking you're not good enough. Stop thinking you're not smart enough. Because I guarantee there's so many people out there that's smarter than me. But yet here I am. Here I am. God placed me here. He opened that door and He placed me here. And once, even though the process onboarding and all that was kind of extended due to COVID and all the other different things we had to do, I can honestly say it was well worth it. It was well worth it. He put me in a place where I'm appreciated, where I'm paid well, that allows me flexibility, that if I need to go do something with my husband, or like anything that I need to do, I can almost guarantee you that I can go do it, because it's just that flexible. And I love it. I love it. There is, honestly, I can't even thank God enough for what He's done for me, where He has put me. I want to give you that encouragement that you need to don't give up on your dreams. Don't sit here and think, oh, because they got it, God doesn't have it for me. I'm not going to be able to do it, because why wasn't I chosen for that position? Why am I still stuck here in limbo? Just get those thoughts out your mind and start kind of redirecting your energy to what is it that God wants me to learn or get out of this situation or this job or this position that I am in right now, in order to benefit me in the long run, in order to benefit me and set me up for that dream position or that business that I want to start, or you know, that nonprofit that I want to start, that counseling center, whatever it is you want to do. Trust God. Pray. I pray a lot. I pray like 2-3 times a day, child. Okay? Prayer is always key. You gotta have faith. You have to pick even when you feel knocked down, you have to have faith that everything you're going through, it's gonna work out for your good. That faith not works is dead. Have faith. Put in the work. And God do the rest. that's really all I have for today, y'all. I would really appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I will be bringing you guys some more inspirational content. I really hope that this has inspired someone to stay the course, even though you may be feeling defeated and like you want to give up and like all your works is just for nothing. Nope, it's not. Continue to do hard work, continue to put your best foot forward, and continue to have faith. And you will get to where you want to be in due time, in your season, when nobody else can stop you. And it's whatever it is that God has for you, it's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna be more than you ever imagined. Okay? Alright, y'all. So I will check y'all out on the next video. But until then, I ask you guys just to continue to live life virtuously.